the second biggest event of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there are people who literally will take the entire weekend and the next several days off just to make sure they are in line, in tune. And if you know nothing of the Super Bowl and the NFL, the one thing they have done is they've tried to garner it around an entire family event. For example, my wife and I are football fans. We love the sport of football. We will watch football. Now, we don't really care for the halftime show. However, we will have friends who will come over, specifically.
What did you think of Katy Perry?
I preferred Missy Elliott, if you want my honest opinion. I loved when Missy Elliott came out. I think Katy Perry did an exceptional job. However, I was very happy when Missy Elliott came out there because for the past 20 years, she has been behind the scenes. She's been in front of the camera. She has done it all. To me,
told she came out, I had no clue who she was.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
See, understand this, and this is truly important for all those people who watch us every day on television. I'm really clueless. See, it's this pop culture thing that I don't get. And I'd like to go back for just a moment, and we'll wrap this segment up real quick.
Sure.
Why is baseball is called baseball? Because there are bases.
Yes.
And I just, and I'm having a serious problem with football being called football. Can we change it to something else?
You are going to have to talk to, I am not. You are going to have to speak to Roger Goodell and the powers that be, who is the commissioner of the NFL. We should definitely look into that. Roger Goodell, we need to have you on the show so that you can give us an exact definition as to why football is called football. Because there are some people, such as Christopher here, who would think that it might be better if it was called something else. So instead of
logical, even. I mean, come on. Football. I'm not supposed to, kick the ball. Soccer should be called football. It would make more sense if soccer was football.
Well, soccer actually is called football.
No, I understand that's the other way around, though.
Yes, but if you ask anybody in the world, what they will tell you is it is football, because that is exactly what they do. You're kicking the ball with your feet. Here is what I will say to kind of wrap this segment up. Every time a team scores a touchdown, they actually do kick the ball for the extra point.
Truth be told.
So, Christopher, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Next week, because Roger Goodell is going to be on here, and he's going to explain the whole controversy. The show airs in England. Controversy of football being called football. Can we expect that next week?
You can. Next week it is going to be here. I think Roger Goodell has plenty of time right now in this offseason. I don't think he has anything pressing. I think he owes it to the American public and to those just to enhance his viewing audience if he was to come and say, this is why football is in fact called football.
Actually, that's also, you know what I was going to tell you, that what you did there, addressing the viewers and then addressing Christopher, that was perfect. You're going back and forth. Perfect.
Okay.
That was out of all the interviews you did, you did great in the other ones.
Right.
That one was more fluid.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I just wanted to help practice a little bit.
Okay. What just happened here?
Like the way that you picked up on all of his questions, man, I wouldn't have been able to do that. You transitioned really well.
Yeah.
And
Well
also,
done. And I was really trying to. I was really trying to throw you off.
Controversy.
I was trying to throw you off by cutting you off a little bit.
What game?
All right.
All right, well, come on.
Actually do something.
I was like, what are you doing? Don't.
I'm distracted.
I also why do they
Frank.
not call it handball or kickball? Why is it not
Just
called
bringing my natural.
Frank, you good?
Yeah.
We're just talking AFC East, baby. That's all we're talking about.
AFC or NFC?
AFC. We're just talking AFC East. We're not going to do NFC. There's so much more to discuss in the AFC, and it's so much easier. I mean, it really is. The only question that I have is, are the Patriots still going to be the top dog with all the changes being made in that division? And I'll feed you, because that's what I'm going to talk to the audience about first, before I feed you in. I mean, do you want to do NFC?
That's the only. I haven't had a TV in like 7 months, so the only sports that I've
Right.
basically been watching.
Christopher, you know what's going on with this?
All right, well, then, you know what? Let's do
The only
NFC.
thing I looked up was basically NFC stuff.
Fine,
So
fine. We'll talk about what we know. Works for me.
You could hit me real quick. I could do the will the Patriots just as an end? Do you think the Patriots will still?
Perfect. We'll go with that.
Put this in your pocket, Chris.
We'll go with that. All right. We'll talk NFC then.
I'll basically say, is Bill Belichick and Tom Brady still there?
Yeah.
Then
They're still going to be the top dog. I don't think so, though. We'll save that for another time then. All right. No. We will run NFC East. Shoot, that's easy. That's a no-brainer.
that's
RG3's about to get paid $16 million.
Oh, really?
they ain't paying him that money.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Okay. Is this Eli's last year? He wants us kind of in the center of the
right.
thing, so you're going to have to slide a little bit over this way, bruh.
All right.
You are perfect.
Okay.
I'll slide there. All right, we're good.
How's-
That you did.
All right.
You all set?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh.
They couldn't see the coffee.
Oh, can't. Okay.
No, they couldn't have seen it.
All right.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Our final topic of the day is we're going to talk about the NFL. More importantly, the NFC East, with all the changes being made with the Philadelphia Eagles. Is Adrian Peterson actually going to the Dallas Cowboys? How will the Cowboys fare now that they have Greg Hardy? And what about the New York Giants and Washington Redskins? For all these questions and answers, I've brought in my NFL aficionado, Frank Mazzei. Frank, thank you so much for coming by, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So let's talk about, first and foremost, the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
They're still called America's team, even though they finally made it to the postseason this year.
Yes, they did.
And they were one catch away from actually going to the NFC Conference Championship game. Now, my question to you is this. They let go of DeMarco Murray. He signed a 5-year deal with Philadelphia.
Yep.
Then they all of a sudden signed Greg Hardy, an individual who may not seem to be the most well-liked individual.
He's had some problems.
A few. Can the Cowboys retain their dominance in the NFC East?
Absolutely. The running back is pretty much irrelevant in Dallas's offense. When you look at that offensive line, I could make the Pro Bowl next year.
Okay, but wait. You're saying that DeMarco Murray, a man who was the NFL leading rusher last year,
Yep.
is no longer a factor. That position, now that he's gone, is no longer a factor in Dallas's offense.
If Darren McFadden can be what Darren McFadden can do, won't miss a beat.
Seriously.
Seriously. Now, that's a big if because he's had a lot of health problems as well.
Okay.
So, but again, behind that offensive line, look, Emmitt Smith would not have been Emmitt Smith if you look at the offensive line that he ran behind with the early Cowboys teams.
Okay, so now you've got Des Bryant on one side and you've got Greg Hardy essentially on the other side of the ball. Tony Romo, better at a passing quarterback this year because he has those two weapons? Or will he still be that gunslinging guy who inevitably is going to be, and I hate to use this expression, but it's something I'm going to say, can be an accident waiting to happen?
Anytime Tony Romo can throw the ball less, that's a good thing for Cowboys fans.
But you just said that the running back position is not going to be relevant. So what you're saying is he's not throwing the ball.
No.
He's going to be handing the ball off to Darren McFadden.
I'm saying who's running the ball is not really relevant. Darren McFadden is going to run the ball.
Okay.
They're going to run the ball. That's what they want to do. You've got an offensive line that's probably the best in the NFL and one of the biggest.
All right.
For them to not run the ball would just be, egregious.
Okay. Let's talk about the Washington Redskins now.
Okay.
Daniel Snyder is slated to pay RG3 $16 million this year.
He ain't getting that money.
So where's he going?
They'll cut him. They'll restructure. They'll renegotiate. But if they give him that bonus, I'd be shocked.
Okay. So if they do, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say that RG3 does in fact get his $16 million. Staying healthy, can the Washington Redskins be what he was his rookie year? Can they win the division?
They can win the division. I don't think he's ever going to be what he was.
All right.
I don't think he was smart when he came into the league. Too much running. He should have went the Russell Wilson route. Get out of bounds, take the slide, avoid the hits instead of just trying to bull people over. Especially when you're his size. That should not be his game. I think he took too many hits, too many injuries, and honestly, I don't think he's got a lot of support there from Jay Gruden. So, but can they win the division? Yes. Offensively, they're not bad.
Okay.
And defensively, they do have issues, but new GM, Scott McLaughlin,
Right.
is a draft guru. He's everywhere he's been in any kind of personnel capacity, they've hit the jackpot.
New York Football Giants, speaking of a team that's made very little headway just so far in this offseason, is this the last year of the Eli Manning, Tom Coughlin era?
I think they'll go a few more. Eli, more. Tom Coughlin, that I don't know. He did get an extension, which is good, but also his seat, even though 2 Super Bowls, which is good, but you're in New York City and it's a what have you done for me lately? No playoffs in a few years. That's not a good combination.
Last team we're going to talk about, the Philadelphia Eagles. Chip Kelly in his 3rd season.
Did he do anything this year?
So far, what he has done is made several major trades, several major releases.
Okay.
He sent LaShawn McCoy to the Buffalo Bills for Kiko Alonso.
Yes.
Jeremy Maclin went to go play with his old coach, Andy Reid, in Kansas City.
Yes.
He brought in Ryan Matthews from San Diego.
He did.
He signed
DeMarco Murray.
Yes, for 5 years, $42 million, 21 of that guaranteed. Is this Chip Kelly's all-in year? Is it in Chip we trust or Chip or bust?
I think Jeffrey Lurie's been the owner there for 20 years, and he's shown some patience through down years.
Okay.
Andy Reid had some losing seasons, 3, I believe, and a couple of 8 and 8s. 2011, they went out and spent all that money, and Vince Young, I believe, referred to them as a dream team, and they finished 8 and 8. So
yeah, exactly.
I think Chip Kelly's first 2 years in the league, 10 wins each year. That's a pretty good start.
And he did it with Nick Foles,
Yep.
Mark Sanchez,
Yes.
and Michael Vick. So the question that everybody's asking is, even though Chip Kelly has said, we are not going to mortgage our future to go up in the draft to pick Marcus Mariota, I want to know what your thought is.
I think he should, just because, look, Marcus Mariota can come into your locker room day one and run that offense.
Okay.
He could teach the other people on that football team that offense. He's been running it for years.
Right.
So why would you not want a guy like that can come in? Now, he's still going to have a curve, but he's coming from a spread attack, and it's going to be any other NFL team, he's going to have to learn to get under center and take the snap. It's a completely different animal. Chip Kelly's offense, it's wide open. It's the spread. It's what he knows. It's what he's comfortable with. But, again, I can understand him not wanting to. I am intrigued by the Sam Bradford move, though.
And that was my next question.
Sam Bradford runs worse than Nick Foles. I mean, so Chip is really trying to show I don't need a running quarterback in this offense.
A lot of people have said, though, the best quarterback coming out of any draft, closely similar to Peyton Manning, was Sam Bradford. Now, Sam Bradford's coming off of 2 ACL injuries.
Yep.
He's basically spent last year standing on the sideline holding a clipboard.
Yep.
What's he going to do? Now, he does have his college roommate in DeMarco Murray at the running back position. If Sam Bradford was to go, let's say, to Cleveland, since they've had their eye on him, and Chip Kelly does go get Mariota, where do you see Philadelphia falling, not only in the division, but in the entire NFL?
That's what I want to see. Honestly, I'm intrigued by it because all the moves that he's made, and don't forget what he's done with the defense, bringing in Byron Maxwell, Walter Thurman III, former Seahawks, although Thurman spent a year with the Giants. But it's going to be interesting. Kiko Alonso, look, they got a lot of flack for trading LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso. He's not a scrub. He's 24 years old. He was in competition for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Right.
So they're really getting an asset there. You pair him with Michael Kendricks back there, they're going to have some speed. I think like anything in sports, it's going to be based on the results. If Philadelphia makes the playoffs but then makes a push, I'm not going to say they got to win the Super Bowl with everything, but if they make a push and really show improvement, Chip Kelly's a genius. If it goes south, then like everything else, he's an idiot.
Okay. One last question before I let you go, Frank.
Yes.
The current Super Bowl champions are, in fact, the New England Patriots. However, the AFC East has made several major changes to kind of beef up that division.
Yes.
My question to you is, are the New England Patriots still going to be the top dog in that division?
Is Bill Belichick still there?
Yes.
Is Tom Brady still their quarterback?
As far as I know.
There you go.
Enough said. All right, Frank, thank you again for stopping by, man. I greatly appreciate it. Everyone, this is Eric Wilson. Everyone have a great week.
Sorry,
That's all right. I did it
fumbled.
too. You saved me on DeMarco Murray because I was like,
I
what?
think the New York Giants, I think the fact that they got to have a couple Super Bowls there, I mean, that's like gives
Listen,
them.
this
it
is
gives them
coming from a
little
guy
leeway.
who's a Giants
You know what
fan. I don't want to hear it.
No, I'm just saying.
It gives him some, but how much?
Maybe a year or two.
Jim Fossil got to
Oh, yeah.
one Super Bowl, and he didn't.